us here on Gray But Not Old. We are so delighted to have our guest with us today, Mark. Mark, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm glad to be here this morning.
Looking forward to asking you three specific questions. The first question is, can you talk about an adverse circumstance that at the time felt as if you'd never make it through?
Hmm. Wow, that's a interesting lead-off question. Yeah, I guess what comes to mind first is that about 2009, 2010, I went through a separation and then later a divorce that was very difficult. And difficult because I was very much in love, had a little baby girl, and at 54, 55 years of age, I'm wondering, man, can I get through this? Start all over again with life and what have you. And fortunately, my sister, who is one of my best friends of life, uh, allowed me to move in with her. And then her children who live around her, grown children and grandchildren, helped nurture me back to reminding and showing me again who I am because I had lost myself in that marriage in a way that was very damaging that, I didn't even know. And I remember one day asking my sister, what does a person who's 55 years of age do when they don't have family who they can lean on and comfort them and nurture them back to life? And I thought about the people who are sometimes walking our streets, who are sleeping out of doors, who are stumbling in life because they don't have the support system that I was fortunate to have to nurture me back to life. And I lived with her for a year, moved back to the Bay Area. And then, as people know, I've done well. But that was a moment where I just said, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then, fortunately, as God would have it, that little 3-year-old girl at the time is now almost 21. For the last 2.5 years, she lives with her dad because the bond that I had created was solid enough to make her want to live with me as an adult. So, but that was something I didn't think I could get through, but thank God I did.
The second question is, when you hear the expression live, love, and laugh, what comes to mind?
Wow, that's interesting again because probably 30 years ago, um, I came up with some theory, and I don't know what it was, and it was using three of those words. And almost daily, I would say those just to kind of encourage me as I was building my life in a healthcare career at the time, and then later a video production company. And I would use the letter L to start with laugh, learn, live, and love. And those were the things that reminded me each day of what to me were important things to embody. If you know me a little bit, you know I'm going to find a way to make you laugh and have us laugh, even at laughing at myself every opportunity. I'm also a lifelong learner. So for me, it's about making sure that there's something that is about wonder that I can learn and understand while I'm living. Living my life to the fullest is something I think is very important. And then loving, because I think that's the grandest thing that we can do. And if you see my shirt, it says love is power. So for me, love, it overcomes everything. If we can see the life and the love and laughter and then see the God in everybody, then we can get through these moments together. So that's what those three words mean to me.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you. Our third and final question is, what is your treasured advisement to share with the younger?
Hmm. For the younger generations, man. And that's interesting because, when I hear people talk about old school music these days, they're talking about music from the 90s. And I'm like, I thought they were talking about music from the 70s. So yeah, that's quite a question. What I want to share with them. One, that we've got to get through this moment, that you've got to get through this moment. It will pass. And you want to get through it with integrity. So learning to be able to respond to something and not just react, because that's a different emotion. And then the other thing I often share with certainly my family and others who will allow me to pontificate just a bit is that my last 6 years in the healthcare industry was working for a hospice organization. And I was the director of marketing. And as I met with families, as I met with caregivers, I met with chaplains, social workers, and others, what I found out and what I heard consistently from each and all of them was that at the end of life, no one ever asks for more stuff. No one wants an extra car. No one wants another piece of artwork on the wall or another wristwatch. People want more time. That's at the end of life, all anybody ever wants is one more day. And so I say to younger people, you have to live that day today, because there are so many days that we take for granted when we're young because, we feel we're going to live to be old, but there's no guarantees of that. So your contribution to our families, our communities, our societies will be important when you share that today. So don't wait until you're on that end of the journey and wish you had more time, because all of us have the same 24 hours in a day. And how we utilize that and the gifts that the Creator has endowed us with, we're supposed to share on our journey. And that is today.
Mark, thank you so much for being with us today here on Gray But Not Old.
Thank you for having me. It's been a joy, and I'm glad to be a part of this.